name is Vinash Kumar. I'm the Vice President of Welfare at the Students' Union. I think Movember, a lot of people think it's just about men not trying to grow their beards during the month to raise awareness, but I think it's a lot more than that. It's not only about raising awareness on testicular cancer, but also a whole range of things, including mental health issues that predominantly affect men that are never really spoken about within the community.
Hello everyone, my name is Tom Beatty. Movember really tries to deconstruct this whole idea that men's mental health shouldn't be discussed and unfortunately is not taken seriously enough. Movember really tries to give you the tools to try and help people around you and to try and push you not only to help but also help yourself and try and open up to other people around you, professionals, non-professionals, friends and family.
So hi, I'm Arslan. I'm part of the boxing committee. Movember to me is a great charity. I didn't really know much about Movember, but until I went to school back in Ireland, we used to just see people grow moustaches and I didn't know what it was for. So I did my research. Movember is a way to make money in order for charities which relates to prostate cancer for men. Other men don't really talk about this. I think it's a really good cause.
Movember to me is when the month of November happens and we all raise money for men's mental health awareness.
Hey everyone, I'm James, I'm 18. For me, Movember is a time to speak out about men's health and well-being through fundraising, and light-hearted activities such as growing facial hair and covering a distance definitely make dealing with such a sensitive subject a lot easier.
Hey, I'm Toby from the Essex Place swim team. Movember is a terrific outlet for my passion towards men's mental health and is an incredible charity with such a fun way to raise awareness.
Hi, my name is Jessica Cartwright. I'm currently a first year law student at the University of Essex. This month I decided that I would run 60 miles in order to help raise money for Movember. Movember's a great cause. It raises awareness for prostate cancer, men's mental health and men's suicide prevention, and I'm sure there's many of us out there who have got male friends, male relatives who have suffered or are currently suffering with some form of mental illness, which is why it's so important that we all really get involved and really get behind this scheme.
I have not been personally affected, but I do know a few friends who've been personally affected by Movember. I think one of my friends, his grandfather actually had testicular cancer. He always found Movember as a time really to kind of raise awareness on it.
Movember has definitely impacted me. I think I've got a greater understanding of what my current situation is, but also the current situation around me. And Movember's definitely trying to start conversations, helps you to open up to others. And I really think they're doing an amazing job. I think the funds that are being raised are amazing for prostate cancer and testicular cancer, which are a lot more common than we think. But there's also this general understanding that's trying to be developed by Movember around the globe to try and help you and others around you to talk about your mental health and get better when you can.
Personally, I never really thought about Movember because young people don't really get testicular cancer. But now I actually have a few friends that got cancer when we were very young, like 14, 15, and it changed their lives completely. Some of my best friends got it. It's just Movember is a great way to make awareness, especially for young kids, young people, everyone, just check their body. It's a great awareness. It makes people active and make them aware, to get check themselves. I think it really benefit us all in the long run.
I feel like it's really, really, really important to take note of who's impacted by it. Personally, I guess so, because so many of my friends would have issues and stuff that they wouldn't talk about, especially men, because they feel like they associate talking about emotions and feelings as a feminine characteristic, and not many guys want to appear feminine anymore. So my friends would then in November always check up on each other, even if it's just hey, how are you? Are you okay? Is everything good?
I'm fortunate enough to have not felt the direct impacts of men's health issues. However, I am close enough with people who have felt these effects, and I wanted to finally help raise awareness on their behalf.
Movember has affected me personally. I've struggled with my mental health for almost 12 years and only had the strength to talk about it with someone about 2 years ago. And if it wasn't for the support from my friends, family, and seeing what Movember does, I now realize that it's okay to ask for help.
Talking about mental health among amongst your male friends was still such a taboo topic to talk about. And it's these subtle things within the aspect of Movember that really raise that awareness to a lot of people. And I think it's a message that we've yet to achieve, because I think as much as there's a lot of traction at universities and colleges about what Movember is, I don't think that traction necessarily correlates with the local communities or the big, the kind of central communities that we have, and society hasn't really addressed how Movember and men's health issues affect them. I think there's a lot of work to be done in that sense.
Yeah, I do, because everyone is raising money for the same cause. Everyone is not raising money for themselves, they're raising money for each other. And I feel like it's a community where everyone comes together, raises money for men who have the same situation, and we're all trying to help each other and improve each other, take care of each other. I do feel like a sense of community is there.
Yeah, it kind of unites everyone for one cause, and then everyone starts to do these charitable causes together. So in a sense, it unifies everyone and kind of gives everyone a common goal, which makes everyone more happy in a sense.
Yeah, since we're part of a team, we've been extremely social, and we interact a lot with the other groups regarding the subject, and it's been overall pretty good.
When you walk down the street, say you're in Colchester normally, you walk down the street, you're able to give such a big smile and a friendly head nod to all of those wonderful people who have grown a mustache. And it just feels like it's such a massive unit, and everyone feels so incredible to be part of it.
I think men's mental health is really important. Over the years, we've seen so many, not only celebrity cases, but within our local community about how men commit suicide. And, very often, and the picture that keeps reoccurring in my mind is people smile or are extra jovial before they've taken drastic actions that will affect not only their own lives, but the lives of people around them. That's the thing. It's really about breaking this culture of toxic masculinity where you brush everything under the rug and you get on with it, when actually that's not the case. There's so much that needs to be addressed and talked about, especially when it comes to men's mental health, because depression is very real, anxiety is very real. Really about telling men that being vulnerable is okay. I would like to see and live in a society where it's generally, and it's an understanding, everyone cries, and it's about breaking down that toxic culture in the process.
Men's health is very important. Men don't talk about the feelings ever. Men are viewed to be very strong, very masculine. They always never talk about the feelings, never be sad, never be upset. But men need to let out the feelings. They need to show emotion, and it's good for your body. It releases endorphins. It gives them a sense of release. I feel like both physically and mentally, even mentally, it's much more important.
I'd say, yeah, of course it's pretty important, because one's mental health really kind of dictates their whole physical life, doesn't it? Because if you're not okay up here, then how can you be okay out here? So I think it's very crucial to talk about it and to raise awareness for that fact, because men especially tend to avoid that point, whether they would go out and do something else, go out to party, go out to do sports. It's like they would do everything around to avoid it, but not actually talk about it. So I think it's really important that it is talked about, it is discussed, and it's okay to discuss those things.
I believe it's extremely important, but that might be because I am a guy, so I am biased. But yeah, definitely one of the most important things.
I personally think there's a stigma around men's health, and guys feel embarrassed talking about it. And I know I felt embarrassed at first, but it's super important that we educate ourselves and that we realize we're not alone and that we can ask for help.
Very often, at least from my understanding and from my observations, men tend to be a lot more open to discussing this when they have a friend who has a protected characteristic in their core group. For example, if you know someone who's, who identifies as LGBT+, or who identifies as disabled, there's that facilitator for that conversation, because it's a very big part of one of your close friends' life. Very often it's quite hard to break that mold to say, we can have conversations about this, we can talk about this. And on a general spectrum, I don't think men are equipped enough to know when someone is struggling, unless you're within those fields or within those, knowing someone from those protected characteristics. So I would definitely say no, there's there needs to be a lot more work done on that.
It's very important that men try and discuss their issues, whether it's with a specialist, whether it's with other friends, and especially between bros, between men. There is this stigma which still exists, and I think unfortunately we have to break that down, make it this positive and open up the conversations for everyone to feel normal.
Before it was a joke, but recently in the past year or two, people have started talking about it. A lot of celebrities have talking about it, so people think it's cool to talk about it now. Has it been taken seriously? By some individuals, yeah. It's not a joke anymore, but I think it's a lot more we can do. A lot of men still are scared to speak about it. They still feel like they're going to be judged. But if we support each other, then like everyone will be good to talk about it.
I would like to say, like, yeah, in a sense, the idea of mental health for men is talked about, but the actual mental health from men, I don't think is talked about a lot. Like men to men or man to man, they don't really talk about those things. So that's why, like, it's important to always bring it up in November to let them know that's okay. But if you know what I mean, the actual idea of mental health is talked about for men, but not the actual issues that they have.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to have a close bubble of friends with whom I can confidently talk about these kinds of issues with. But I understand that others might not be so fortunate, as I've heard numerous cases where men struggle to talk openly about their feelings and their issues in fear of being laughed at. And I feel it's extremely important to speak out, because chances are there are others out there who are suffering in the exact same way as you are.
I think that it's a lot more of an open subject now, but it's still a long way from being taken seriously. Too many people still reject the idea of men being able to cry or men being able to feel in that kind of way, and it's kind of just, it's really sad. I'm hoping people can start to listen more and that they take it a lot more seriously.
Masculinity, I truly believe, is what you make of it. Many people assume that masculinity is associated with rough and tumbleness and, chopping wood and being able to do all of these big tasks that traditionally women were told that, that they couldn't do. And I think that's a very stupid and very backwarded way of thinking. I think, to me, masculinity is about being comfortable in your own skin, about being able to express yourself and really understand that it is what you make of it. It's not a concept that's written in a book or something that's quantifiable. It's really what you make of it.
There is this masculinity and side which means that we have to be stronger than women mentally, at least from a societal point of view. And unfortunately we don't have those conversations with other people, especially with other men. It's very difficult to open up, to talk about your issues, especially with other men, and I think Movember definitely is trying to change that with new ways of addressing these issues.
Masculinity is not essential to be a man. People want to see men, they'll have to be big, strong, good at sports, they have to be they have to be powerful, but then there's some guys that are very intelligent, they don't have to be strong, they don't have to be powerful. People are into different things. Some people might like art and crafts, some people might like singing. It doesn't mean you're less of a man than anyone else. It's just you're into different things. Masculinity needs to have a broader definition. I feel like it's too narrow.
That's so hard because I have varying ideas of what masculinity is. Because from the Western side, being masculine is being strong and looking a certain way, talking a certain way. And then from different sides of the world, in the Arab world, being masculine is not talking about your feelings, and feelings don't exist, and mental health is just an idea that's not very crucial. You just move on with those things. So I don't think there's a set definition of what being masculine is, because every man is different. You wouldn't say what's the idea of being liking the color red. Everyone doesn't like the same color.
Honestly, I don't think masculinity matters. Being a man is a bit of a hollow statement. As long as you're comfortable with yourself, you can be whatever you want to be. Do whatever you want to do, even if it challenges the societal norms of being a man. I think it's fine.
Who cares if you're masculine or not? Be you. I feel like it's the most important thing about being anyone. The image of what a man should be has changed, and being masculine doesn't matter anymore. It's just not important.
I would urge students to educate themselves about it, irregardless of whether you're a man or a woman or whatever gender or sexual orientation you identify with. You know, read up, educate yourself on it, because this is a conversation that's long overdue, and it's something that, you know, needs addressing now before the situation gets worse.
I think it's a great cause from Movember. Like, I think everyone should take part in it. If you're not even taking part in it, support one another. Ask your friends, ask each other, like, if they're okay. They, like, if someone wants to talk to someone, listen to them. You just support each other. Be kind.
I know, like, for a lot of guys it's embarrassing, like, if they feel sad or if they feel, like, stressed, they want to, like, express the way they feel. They probably, like, 100% I know, like, they wouldn't want to do it because of the way they look. But honestly, in the bigger picture, it doesn't actually matter how they look as long as they, like, express their emotion and let people know how they feel. Otherwise, they're going to feel trapped constantly. I'm Adam Adams, and I'm the president of the boxing team. We've actually set up a competition on our boxing page where we'll have the 18 push-up challenge for men's mental health awareness, and we're going to be giving away a hoodie, and the money will go to a charity. We're doing it with the Essex Blades boxing team. So we've been doing the 18 push-ups a day to raise money for men's mental health awareness.